Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook. Well, you know what we do. I always tell you what we do, but it's always nice to remind ourselves why we're here. We're here to connect with Puerto Vallarta. How do we do it? We connect through headlines, through comments, through things that we learn, things that we want to learn, and everything we can get our hands on. And of course, it helps if I have my microphone where I'm supposed to have my microphone so that you can hear me. Woof. Um, I know my mic wasn't working well. That's because my mic was not in the right place. I get silly sometimes. Today is Wednesday, November 24th. And as usual, we welcome sound is bad. Listen to that, Chuck. Patience, my friend, patience. We have solved the issue. Today is Wednesday, November 24th. Today we're going to go through our news really quickly because we have a very, very long walk to address today. Before we get to the walk, let us just go through some headlines, but not before we remind you of the fact that if you have something important to say, add a Q at the beginning of your comment. And also, if you are new to the broadcast, please let us know that you're new. You can do that by writing the word new in your comment, and that way we will welcome you to the cluster. Michelle says sound is better but very low volume. Paco says try raising your volume at your end. I will increase my volume ever so slightly just in case I'm being the bad guy. But always, whenever you find that the volume is not enough, it also helps when you check your own volume at home. Let's dive into the news. So most of our headlines have to do with yesterday's announcements, so I'm going to fly through them. The first one, despite the fact that the reconstruction of the Insurgentes vehicular bridge is moving at a slower pace than previously announced, Jalisco Governor Enrique Alfaro assured, yes, that the project is of top priority and it will be concluded during the month of December. Tómala. Ladies and gentlemen, start placing your bets. Also stemming from yesterday's announcements and the yesterday's press release. Okay, before I can do this, please know that some of you have volume that is topped out. Some of you have volume that is not perfect. Some of you have volume that is better. Some of you have volume that is not better. There's only so much yours truly can do about these things. So kindly share some patience as we move forward. If it's really, really bad, then add a Q to your comment, and that way I will know that it is really, really bad. Moving right along. The new southbound lateral road along Francisco Medina Asensio from La Isla to the Sheraton Hotel is practically finished. So you're probably wondering, what about the northbound lateral? Well, if you are not alone. Governor Alfaro was questioned about this during his press conference, and we learned that the state budget for this year, as it relates to these types of projects, has been depleted. However, the governor was quick to acknowledge his commitment to see this project through during his administration, so he will find resources for it at the tune or at a tune of 120 million pesos during 2022. Now, there are two big projects that are still sitting on standby. One is the completion of the Federation Bridge connecting Nayarit with Jalisco and providing southbound traffic with an alternate access to the city, and also the Macro Libramiento or Macro Beltway that would go through the mountains. Well, not a beltway because it wouldn't be a beltway, it would be an overpass that would go through the mountains, bypassing the city altogether and helping free our downtown area from buses and trucks. When questioned about this, Alfaro was quick to remind those present, and this is very important, folks, that when President Andrés Manuel López Obrador has visited Puerto Vallarta, he has, on more than one occasion, made promises to see these projects through with federal funds. And yet, Governor Alfaro let us know that neither project has been contemplated in the Federation's budget for this coming year. So this has more to do with promises made by our president that are not backed up with a solid delivery, and not so much with the state budget. These are federal issues, and that is just for you to know. Now, one project that Governor Alfaro did announce is the rehabilitation of the downtown neighborhood, particularly of the 20 de Noviembre school located in El Centro, which is in dire need for remodeling. And this could begin as early as January 2022. The 20 de Noviembre elementary school has not been able to reopen due to its sad state, keeping hundreds of Puerto Vallarta children unable to continue their studies at a proper school. Also, as I mentioned yesterday, Governor Alfaro was questioned about the budget irregularities within CEPAL and also about the irregular real estate construction permits we mentioned. Again, Governor Alfaro was quick to indicate that these are municipal issues, not state issues, and as such, it should be handled and resolved within the municipality. That said, he offered his unconditional support to Puerto Vallarta Mayor Luis Michel, who sat with him during the press conference. Lastly, there it is. Mayor Michel was questioned about his administration's position regarding the newly formed group Salva Vallarta or Save Vallarta, responsible for denouncing the 55 irregular construction permits that were issued during the month of September by the past administration. Assholes. To that effect, Mayor Michel stated that if the aforementioned group is looking to reach out to his administration, they have an open door. In case you are curious, Salva Vallarta is a nonprofit organization whose goal is the proper application of the law as it relates to land use, environmental protection, and the preservation of the ecological balance while maintaining Puerto Vallarta's identity. The organization is run by Raul Rodriguez Gonzalez, an environmental lawyer, and they have a Facebook page, which I'm going to leave here in the show notes for you to peruse. And now let us turn over to the weather. Who does the sun think he's looking at? Asks our snarky carrot of weather. Well, he could be looking at that satellite that NASA just launched to destroy an asteroid, but what do I know about that? What I know is that we are enjoying 27 degrees of temperature right now, feels like 28. Humidity is at 63%. We have 81 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you that understand the F temperature. In our weather forecast for today, clear through the day with a high temperature of 31, low temperature of 20. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy through the day with a high temperature of 31, low temperature of 21. And Friday, we begin our weekend with a mostly cloudy day, a high temperature of 30 and a low temperature of 21. We have a couple of other headlines to share before we dive into Walking Wednesday. And the first one has to do with more from Governor Alfaro's press conference. Apparently, there has been a concert announced in town by rapper Santa Fe Clan for months. This is scheduled to take place this coming Sunday. But the organizers, who are local business people who are obviously wanting to make some profit, have not bothered to apply for a permit to hold the concert. Governor Alfaro was quick to remind us that these types of events cannot take place without the endorsement of the state's health board. There is also another concert scheduled on December 4th at the Convention Center. This one features a singer by the name of Pancho Barraza, and the organizers of this event have submitted their paperwork to the health board, but the event has not been fully approved as of yet. And while we're at it, Governor Alfaro was also asked about the Guadalupe processions, and he said, sitting right next to our mayor, that the state has the support of the archdiocese in canceling these massive events, and that Guadalupe processions are forbidden. He said this in front of the mayor, so I guess between the concerts that do not even have a permit that could take place this weekend and the processions which could take place next week, we get to see what Mayor Michel is truly made of in a matter of just a few days. Last but not least, boxing champion Saul Canelo Alvarez will receive the keys to the city and become a Puerto Vallarta ambassador in an event scheduled to take place this coming Saturday. It is nice to see that at least one council person raised the issue of clarifying in writing what the actual responsibilities the boxer will undertake by accepting this title. As the saying goes, good papers make good friends. And now, let us turn over to Walking Wednesday. I will forewarn you about this walk that I took, that it is a long walk. So some of you may not want to watch the whole thing. But then I thought to myself, well, do I do one of those super fast edits? Or maybe people are more interested in seeing the streets that I walk on a regular basis than I am. So I suppose we'll find out the hard way. And here we go. It's shopping day. Hello. It was yesterday. Today, we are walking along the continuation of Vienna Street, not in the direction of Versailles, but the opposite direction. You see, it's become pretty essential that I go shopping, and I plan to go to La Comer, but instead of taking the fast road and walking down Francisco Villa, I'm going to take a longer road and show you a couple of other things along the way that you may be interested in seeing. Oh, I just noticed artwork that I had never seen before, and I'm going to photograph it. This is really cute. How nice. This is in the corner of Brazil Street. Right around the corner from my house. Anyhow, there is an area of Paseo del Marlín that has just been repaved, and I am curious to go show it to you. So we're going to take the long route to La Comer, get some groceries, and come back home. Now check it out. Just across the street is the wonderful Bazar Las Gaviotas. We have explored this bazaar before. We went in and did a walking tour. In fact, it's one of the earliest walking tours we ever did. And it's really awesome. It's an awesome place to go shopping for used stuff. And let me see if I can cross the street. Yes. So you may remember, this is the back end of my neighborhood, La Colonia La Avena. And we have walked in this general direction, but we are going to take a left just ahead. For you to enjoy some unexplored streets. Or they may be familiar to you, what do I know?
Dave, how about we walk right past Bonito Kitchen? We don't stop for lunch.
And here at this OXXO is where we are going to take a left onto the newly paved Paseo del Marlin.
Newly paved, but a few months ago.
Now, we have explored the continuation of this avenue in another walking tour because this becomes what is known as Avenida de las Torres. But we're not going to go that far. I'm simply going to show you on the show notes where to find that other walking tour. But check it out. And check out all the cars buzzing quickly down this road. Clearly, they haven't installed enough speed bumps just yet. But they will. Now, something that is absolutely amazing about this neighborhood is the trees. Look at how ginormous this tree is right here. I mean, it is just gigantic. Gigantic.
Sorry, my toilet was running. My toilet was walking.
I don't know who looks after these gardens, but it's quite interesting to see that in the middle of nowhere, there's this cactus section. I don't know who decided to put cacti there, but they're there. What can you expect to find here? Homes.
Residents.
For the most part. There are no businesses in this part of this street. Businesses start later on as we approach the section called Avenida Las Torres.
I love your comment, Ramona. One of the nice things about most of the neighborhoods in this general vicinity is that they have been...
This road was paved in the past few months, although I must confess I've lost track of time with the pandemic. But prior to being paved, it used to be cobblestone, so it took a lot longer to travel along this way.
I was saying the neighborhood associations have been very protective of their trees and of government permits. You will not find condominium buildings around here. Paco, when you talk over it, it is very low today, different from other days. I don't know what to tell you, Randall. Things are not very different where I am. And I know I should know the names of some of the colonias or neighborhoods that we are going to pass, but I don't. Construction workers singing while they're working. How fun is that? Oh look, public transportation. That's good to know. I never know if I'm gonna be able to catch a ride on a bus in this neighborhood or not. Now, to orient yourself, if I was to go in that general direction, I would end up at the fireman's station on Francisco Villa, the one that you see when you're headed to Costco along that avenue. We're going to continue forward. Hola, Alita. That sounded like a hiccup, and it wasn't. Now here's a sight that is increasingly common, finding solar panels on top of roofs. Of course, in this case, the overlap of the solar panel and the traditional tiled roof. Not tiled. What do you call those things? I don't even remember. But the traditional Mexican roof. It's quite interesting to watch. Whoa, that's a long commute. I love it. Welcome to being a local in Puerto Vallarta. As you can see, a lot has been done to modernize all these roads, or at least some of these intersections, which is good for people that live over here. Of course, we are now walking on a stretch of the road that doesn't even have a sidewalk. So much for the or maybe they have one planned for later on. Although when you think of it, you would imagine that if they went through the trouble of fixing the road, they would have built the sidewalk here at the same time, just as they did on the opposite side. Whoops. And I almost tripped. Somebody commented the other day on the broadcast that it's miraculous that I hold the camera and explain and film and don't trip. Well, I almost did. Across the street, Colegio Niños Héroes, and I believe it's called that because that's the name of the neighborhood behind it. Niños Héroes stands for child heroes, and we know the Niños Héroes to have been important historical figures in the history of Mexico. We talked about them around Independence Day.
I have a crash course on high heel walking
okay,
for you, Dan.
Let's not get run over here. And then there's a sidewalk again. And I don't know if this is a business or why I'm looking at plants, but check it out. I wonder if this is somebody's shop selling plants or what.
The answer to your question, Pat, yes, I am using an Insta 360 1S.
We are not going to walk in there uninvited, that's for sure.
Yes.
And the more we head north along this street, the more it starts to diversify. You start seeing businesses here and there. And we are almost at the intersection with Avenida Los Tules.
I love it. As soon as they arrive, the first thing they want to know is where the hell they're going to go fucking drinking. Ha ha! Sorry, Alicia. We don't drink at Coffee and Headlines. Just kidding.
And that's where we're going to take a turn. Buenas tardes.
Clearly, you are corrected.
And here we are at the intersection with Avenida de los Tules. I'm going to cross the street and check it out. Look at all the fucking chaos. What's going on here? Well, parents are waiting to pick up their children from school. And what do? They just wait in line here, blocking all the traffic. But that's okay. You know, they're parents. They do whatever they have to do. Now,
Whatever they want.
for our interests, this is where Avenida Las Torres, which is the same avenue we've been walking on, becomes Avenida Las Torres. We have walked this before. But now we're going to head in this direction. Try to get past the parents picking up their kids. And we are headed directly towards La Comer, which is 4 or 5 blocks in that general direction. Now, why would the parents choose not to park here in these places? It's a mystery to me. Instead, they block traffic. But while we're here, let me mention this beautiful restaurant across the street. You cannot see it very clearly. It's called Lucumbe, and it's a great restaurant in this neighborhood. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, here we go.
Rush hour for parents.
This avenue, of course, is a lot more commercial in nature. In fact, many of the buildings along this avenue, even those that may have been conceived originally as residential buildings, have now been converted to business type buildings. And being so close to my place, there's a number of places in this neck of the woods that I enjoy spending time and money at, and I will be so happy to mention them along the way. But you can see there are veterinarians, car wash businesses, restaurants, party supply stores, doctor's offices, a little bit of everything. Okay, so landmarks across the street against the sun, right next to each other. You can see Bonito Kitchen and also Siam Cuisine right next to each other. There's this new makeshift taco place that I have not checked out. And I say makeshift because it's pretty basic. They say they're open, but they're barely open.
Wawa is a veterinarian, Ricky, or a chain of veterinarians.
There's a traditional candy shop here where I've purchased candy in the past. And we are just 2 short blocks away from La Comer. So we're almost at the end of our walk.
There's another veterinarian.
There's a very nice plant shop across the street called Plantas y Flores Naturales. And in this last block, before we reach the intersection with Francisco Villa, there's, oh wow, interesting. I've just seen a sign that is new to me. I see here that Sushi In-House, my favorite sushi place in Versalles, is opening a branch here. It says coming soon. I don't know how long that has been there, but it's good to know that they're opening. There's a coffee shop here. There's a bike shop there. And in less than 25 minutes, I find myself almost across the street from La Comer, which is a walk that would have taken a lot less to walk if I had taken Francisco Villa, but I figured I would show you something slightly different. And this is a good moment to stop our broadcast and say thank you for walking with me. I hope you enjoyed this little detour, and I hope to walk with you sometime soon. Thanks for joining me. Ciao.
You know, I love watching you guys recognize places along the walks, because what that means to me is that you're not trapped between the imaginary confines of the tourist area of Puerto Vallarta. And for those of you that are, you know, we are a big city full of wonderful neighborhoods and communities and places just waiting to explore. And I hope you've enjoyed this not so short walk that we took today. Let us take a quick look at your comments just to see what we have today. Looking for cues. Ooh, lots of comments. My goodness. Lots of good mornings, as always. It is great to see you. Let's see. I acknowledge the sound issues. Let's see what else we have. Sound is better, but very low volume. I think we fixed that to the best of our ability. I don't know what Luna thinks about that, but Luna's checking you out. Luna's making sure that you guys are behaving. Let's see what else we have. Not a lot of cues, which means you're having nice conversations among yourselves, which is fine by me. Here's a cue. I'm always interested in the streets you walk. Buenos dias, Paco. Buenos dias, Tony. Thank you so much for that endorsement. Very much appreciated. And let's see what else. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. A car just walked by. Well, no, not walked by. A car just went by playing banda at top volume. You probably didn't even hear it, but I heard it. Let's see what else we have. Oh, I answered this before. Yes, I am using an Insta360 One X camera, looking to replace it for something different, better, but not yet. Bum, ba-dee, bum, 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 bum. Do 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 do. I don't see any. Oh, there's another queue. Speaking of doctors' offices, does anyone have recommendations for a dermatologist in PV? I mean, one of the medical variety, not aesthetics. I saw some recommendations go by, Maggie as in Peggy. So I hope you find the connection that you're looking for. And that's, oh, there's another one here. I listened to Walk. It sounds wonderful. I will watch later. Thank you, Paco. Thank you, Karen. Know that, of course, the walks are available later on as part of this broadcast, but they're also available separately from the broadcast on YouTube. We have a YouTube playlist with all the Walking Wednesdays that we've uploaded to YouTube, so you can enjoy the walks wherever and whenever you want. And this, my friends, brings us to the end of Q Bars. Okay, Alicia, let me burst your bubble. Let me burst your bubble. This is a drunk town. Everybody drinks. We all drink. It is a local sport. Bars. I appreciate your boundless enthusiasm for bars, but not knowing whether you're straight, gay, cougar, young, old, or the neighborhood in which you're going to live, you're not going to get a lot of help from this community if all you do is write bars with capital B, capital A, capital R, capital S. Help us help you by letting us know what neighborhood you're interested in, whether you're a dyke or whether you are a married lady, or what the scoop is, and we will be ever so happy to give you a hand. As I was saying, that was Coffee and Headlines for today. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you were inspired, amused, or otherwise informed. We had a lot of information at the beginning, and that seems so long ago. So that's what we have for today. Tomorrow is Thursday. Friday, we get to explore Pitillal, and that'll be a lot of fun. So between now and then, stay happy, stay drunk, stay... oh, there you go. I'm 23 and living in Fluvial. Well, I am sure you will find lots of inspiration, and thank you for that added information. Anybody? Bars in Fluvial, so that Alicia can continue with her drinking. Please feel free to submit some information. Ed asks, are you working tomorrow? Well, I work every single day of the week, even though I think I take Sundays off. But we're always busy. We're always working. Okay, that was our broadcast for today. And I hope you had a good time. I will see you again sometime soon. Ciao.